Yeah, I have the last kid on this team on me, but I'm running away from him because I don't want to wipe him because I'm a good teammate. You can
I really love what you're talking to me like. Love how you're talking to me right now.
Our stream is cheating. Over the past day or so, I was watching Zlaner compete in a $50,000 Rebirth Island tournament. And when I looked at his comment section and chat, I was surprised at the number of people accusing Zlaner of being a cheater in Warzone. And he's not alone. There are loads of content creators and streamers, myself included, who have been accused of cheating in Warzone and have been told that we are not using natural tools within this game to get a competitive advantage. Cheating at the top flight can happen as well. We've recently seen, for example, that the number 2 ranked player for Call of Duty Vanguard was actually using a wall hack and exposed himself live on stream. So I wanted to dig into this, and I wanted to look at all of the evidence which has been thrown at Zlaner, a popular Warzone streamer, and see why people are accusing this guy of cheating. Ricochet anti-cheat has been deployed in this game, but it is a machine learning anti-cheat, which means that alongside scanning your system for things that are compromising the game, it is progressively learning with time how to identify cheaters using in-game data and telemetry. It's the best a system can get, but it is still imperfect, and some people can slip between the gaps whilst the anti-cheat is training itself to identify that that person is cheating. So I wanted to look at the clips that have been brought against Zlaner, because he is a very high caliber streamer, and him, much like myself and much like many other content creators, are regularly accused of cheating. And I wanted to see if there was any merit behind the evidence being put towards him. Because when you look online, right now it looks like this guy is sadly public enemy number 1. And I wanted to see if there was any real evidence, or was this all a mad conspiracy or misinterpretation of how Warzone operates. Now before we begin this video, I don't know Zlaner, I don't know anybody at Optic, and if he was banned tomorrow, quite frankly, I wouldn't care. But I'm just curious and interested to see if there is really merit to this, or if people are just making things up as they go along. And his case in many ways represents the big question of, are streamers cheating? Because if somebody as top level as Zlaner is cheating, then there is a possibility in a window that others are as well. So let's start with his most recent clip, and this clip is being utilized all over the internet as allegedly 100% solid proof that Zlaner is cheating in Warzone. And it's a clip of him sniping somebody on Rebirth Island. Now I'm going to let you guys watch the clip, and then I'm going to break down the clip in a way that will explain whether or not this is a suspect clip.
Yeah, I have the last kid on this team on me, but I'm running away from him because I don't want to wipe him because I'm a good teammate. You can
I really love what you're talking to me like. Love how you're talking to me right now.
Now the issue people take with this clip is the perceived magnetism or sticky aim that Zlaner seems to achieve on the player model in front of him. And I'm telling you that this clip is being touted as the #1 most suspect clip. And there are others that we're going to go through afterwards, but this is the one that people are really pointing towards recently. So let's break this clip down. Zlaner misses an initial shot on a target landing in on the roof. He misses the shot with a high bullet velocity Kar 98, which he then reloads. The target dips behind the roof and then reappears on the roof, slowly jumping down the platform and making his way off the edge of the roof. And off the edge of the roof, he dips down into the abyss below. Now, in between that period of time where he's moving from the rooftop into the area below, you can see a very strong magnetism on Zlaner's aim. And this is the magnetism or weirdness that people are pointing towards as him potentially cheating. They are claiming that his ability to track the target perfectly on the roof all the way into the abyss is evidence of him cheating. Now you can see that this alleged magnetism disengages as Zlaner unscopes and the character dips behind the back of the roof, but re-engages as he strafes towards the wall in front of him and tracks the target as he jumps down off the roof. Now, tracking the target himself wouldn't have been too difficult. It's fairly obvious that the zone is collapsing, and if you look at the minimap, there is a red dot to the right of the screen, indicating that there could potentially be enemies below this player, so he will very clearly run off the left side of the roof. That abyss below is also a fairly good way for that person to get out of that situation, considering he's already been shot at once whilst landing and likely has seen the scope glint from Zlaner's sniper. Now initially, as Zlaner tracks the target, he actually overshoots to the left, and then as he strafes closer towards the wall do you see that magnetism where the center of his reticle locks onto the player in front of him. Aim assist initially disengages when he goes behind the building. Zlaner then overshoots his aim as the character comes back over the building, and as he comes closer to the wall, aim assist reactivates, and as the character dips off into the abyss, it disengages. But is this aim assist, or is this cheating? And the answer might surprise some of you. There are 3 systems within Warzone that you need to pay attention to understand whether or not this clip is cheating or not. The first is aim assist occlusion, the second is aim assist tracking or rotational aim assist, and the final is FOV scale-based aim assist. Now, if you don't know this, every character model within Warzone has an invisible bubble around them, and this is the aim assist bubble. And this bubble exists within the game to give people the opportunity to activate aim assist when their reticle moves across a target. So the first thing I mentioned was aim assist occlusion, and this is a system whereby that bubble should disappear if a target is behind cover. If you're behind a concrete barrier, in theory, I shouldn't get any aim assist tracking from you. But in Warzone, that's not the case. Aim assist occlusion in this game is completely broken. You can get aim assist on targets who are behind solid walls, who are behind concrete, who are behind different barriers, fences, doors, whatever it so happens to be in the game. And this can happen for 2 reasons. Either 1, the physical asset within the game engine hasn't been coded correctly so that the aim assist occlusion doesn't know how to function or doesn't function correctly, or 2, part of your character model, be it the barrel of your weapon, a piece of clothing, or a bag or a cape attached to your character model, has clipped through a wall, meaning that the aim assist bubble has leaked into the outside of the building that you're hiding in or wall that you are hiding behind. And this clip is very obvious evidence of aim assist occlusion not working correctly. You can see that Zlaner's aim and general aim assist completely disengages when the character is behind the roof of the building, and as he tries to reacquire him early on, he actually completely misses and overshoots the target to the left. But as he strafes closer towards the wall, and the closer he gets towards the wall, the more the aim assist occlusion stops working as intended, and walls and wall ledges in particular are common enemies for aim assist occlusion not working properly in Warzone. The closer he strafes towards this wall, the more his reticle starts to get the magnetism that you would anticipate from aim assist in the game. The aim then completely disengages again as the character goes into the little ravine below, because that's 2 to 3 layers of solid concrete and 3 physical assets within the game that physically stop the aim assist working correctly. So that would explain why he's getting aim assist at this point in time, especially considering that aim assist works up until 200 meters across all weapons. But why is it so magnetized or so sticky as some people has claimed? Well, that's due to aim assist rotational assist. Now, aim assist in Call of Duty has 2 methods, slowdown and rotational, and when you combine these things together, things can get really messy. Now, what you're witnessing in this clip is strong rotational aim assist, and you'll see this, in fact, in almost every clip that people use as evidence against Zlaner and most streamers who they claim are cheating in the game. In Call of Duty and in Warzone, if a character is strafing in a direction, and you yourself are also moving your feet in a direction, aim assist rotational assist really kicks in. This is a system which is literally designed to help you maintain tracking on moving targets, especially those who are at close range or within aim assist range of 200 meters. And you can see that the target here is very clearly moving left, and Zlaner himself is moving forward and left at the same time to close the gap between him and the player. Now, because Zlaner is already moving, by default he gets rotational aim assist, but because the other character model is also pulling away from him, the rotational aim assist will increase periodically in order to match the movement happening in front of him. And when you combine that with the fact that aim assist occlusion is not working as intended, you get this alleged magnetism or tracking. But in reality, these are just systems that exist in Warzone. So you might be wondering, well, I play Warzone on my PS5 or Series X, why don't I see this, or why doesn't this happen to me? And the answer is your FOV slider. The higher your FOV, the more aim assist is more apparent, because your field of view is withdrawn and drawn further back at 120 or 110 FOV than it is at 80. So the actual physical tracking mechanic that aim assist utilizes in-game seems more apparent at higher fields of view. This works in a similar vein to how higher field of view players in Warzone appear to be moving faster in the game, even though they're moving at the exact same level of speed. But did you know there's also a setting in this game which completely breaks the game? And that's called FOV scale-based aim assist. And this is something that console players don't even know exists, is completely unbalanced, and shouldn't even be an option within the game. Now, when you go back to that invisible bubble that I was talking about in the game, there is a setting for this on PC with FOV sliders, and that's called Scale Aim Assist with FOV. Now, if you have this enabled, that invisible bubble scales to the physical appearance of the character model. Now, if you're playing on a higher FOV, like 120, character models within the game appear to be smaller, because your actual viewing distance is further away. If you enable this setting, that bubble will scale with the smaller character model, but most people don't, myself included. And what that means is that the invisible bubble around the player is the same size, even though the physical appearance of the player is substantially smaller. So this means that I will get a stronger inclination of aim assist than a console player or somebody who has this setting enabled. This is why you often get console players saying that people who play on PC with a controller get more aim assist than console players. In reality, the technical value is the same, but in practice, especially with FOV aim assist and how it scales, you can actually, in perception, get a stronger aim assist playing on PC with a larger FOV by not scaling the aim assist with the field of view. I don't know whether or not Zlaner has this setting enabled or disabled, so it can't be definitively used as evidence to help him here, but the combination of rotational aim assist and the fact that aim assist occlusion doesn't work correctly alone is more than enough to explain how this clip exists. Now, often I get people using clips from the exclusive Aces video on how to use aim assist or how aim assist works in game to say that this is unnatural or this doesn't look right. But in this video, the exclusive Ace doesn't show you many scenarios in which players are strafing in opposite directions to each other or strafing in the same direction. When that situation occurs, rotational aim assist is substantially stronger than if one player is static and one player is moving, because the idea of rotational aim assist is that it's supposed to scale to the movement between the player and the target. So is this clip sus, and is it cheating? Absolutely not. This looks completely normal, and I can understand why the average player who doesn't play this game often or plays it on console may see this as cheating, but in reality, this is simply the broken mechanics of Warzone and mechanics that are far too powerful at play. And this is exactly why Battlefield 2042 doesn't feature rotational aim assist, and it's exactly why Call of Duty Warzone 2 is nerfing aim assist as it goes forward. Now I'm going to play a few other clips in the background which I've been sent, which are allegedly, again, stone cold evidence of Zlaner cheating. And you can really see in these video evidences people not understanding how rotational aim assist works. There's this one clip where this guy is sort of prone and then he gets up and then he starts running and people are like, well, he tracked him all the way through. And yeah, he did, because that's literally what rotational aim assist is supposed to help you in doing. And if you combine somebody who's got slowdown aim assist, which Call of Duty does, has the tracking of a decent player who's been playing on controller for a while, and the fact that rotational aim assist is insanely powerful. You get these examples or alleged evidence where people have sticky or magnetized aim, when in reality, that's literally just how Warzone is designed. Some of these clips are very obviously not unnatural, but people have slowed it down or phrased it in a way that it's supposed to look dodgy. But it's just literally a combination of these three settings. Because people have this misconception that Warzone works as intended, or Modern Warfare works as intended, and that aim assist is supposed to work in X way, when in reality, aim assist can work in about 7 different ways depending on the scenario, and about 10 different ways depending on the number of settings you have enabled or disabled, especially when you start messing around with FOV scaling. Somebody even tried using this clip with Zlaner tracking a guy with an MP5 as evidence that he is cheating. And it's just so far from reality and how the game functions mechanically. This is a completely normal clip that I see other players of high KD values do to me on a daily basis. There are also some other physical characteristics that people don't seem to recognize. For example, I play Call of Duty Warzone at approximately 170 to 200 FPS, but the video output that you guys are seeing is 60 frames of that. So you're missing 110 frames of information from what's happening on screen. I'm sure Zlaner is very similar to I, who plays on a very high FPS or high refresh rate screen, so you're getting people who are taking 60 FPS versions of his stream or even 30 FPS versions of his stream and attempting to use that as evidence against potentially 170, 150 frames of information which are completely being missed. And this can give the quality of certain clips looking more snappy, more sticky, or more unnatural than they actually are because you're not seeing the full physical movement process. You also often get clips where people say, well, how did he see this guy? And the answer to that is that if you're watching a Twitch stream at 1080p with 8000 bitrate, it's going to look drastically different to somebody playing at native 1440p or above. I play at 1440p and it's a game changer to how much you can see on screen. It's far clearer than 1080p, and console versions of this game, and I mean this, are some of the worst looking versions of Warzone available. If you play Warzone on console, even on next gen, it looks like somebody has smeared Vaseline over your screen. Whereas if you play at a native resolution on PC without dynamic resolution scaling enabled, it looks far clearer and is way easier to see targets in the distance. Because this game isn't designed for next-gen consoles and was designed with lots of different various graphical techniques to make it run, the game is constantly targeting 60 FPS, and in order to do so, it will change the resolution on the fly. 1 minute you could be playing the game at native 4K, and within half a second that would have dropped down to 1440p or 1600p or 1080p. As long as it maintains 60 FPS, it will do anything within its power to manipulate the game and make it look worse than it should be in order to achieve that goal. Which is why it's so vital that Warzone 2 has a native resolution for next generation consoles. The final 2 points are kind of off the cuff, but I think they're worth mentioning anyway. The first one is that Ricochet anti-cheat actually does work. If you go through the list of players that you have found to be cheaters and block them, you'll notice that the vast majority of their accounts have been reset to basic values, and they have been banned from the game. This is an anti-cheat which is learning as time goes on. The more telemetry and data that it can use and validate as information, the more it will ban players. And people like Zlaner are no different to you and I. If he is cheating, and eventually the anti-cheat picks it up that he is cheating or utilizing some kind of software, or is achieving something unnatural, it will just ban him from the game. And the game will utilize telemetry that you don't even know exists. For example, the game can see how many times you've managed to hit somebody in the head, can extrapolate which weapon data you're using, and tell whether or not what you're achieving is unnatural, and give you 0 damage on your bullets. And it will progressively learn continually with time, and if people like Zlaner are legitimately cheating, which I don't think any of the clips have illustrated, then he would just get banned from the game. And the final thing is simply the motivation behind some of this evidence and some of these videos, and the kind of cult-like experience it's created. The people who are making these videos are making money off of these videos. You know, when I title a video Zlaner exposed and I get 50,000 views, that's a paycheck from YouTube. If it gets 100,000 views, 200,000 views, 1,000,000 views, you are looking at money from those videos. And the YouTube algorithm itself literally promotes and will slowly enjoy shock value, because if somebody sees a title called Aiden Exposed, they're going to click on it and they're going to watch it. And if they're going to click on it and going to watch it, YouTube will promote it. You'll see it more, and the person who's made that video will make a substantially larger check each time you click on that video. I'm fairly confident myself that if I labeled this video "Is Zlaner Cheating?", it could get a substantial amount of views and would bring me in more revenue. But that's not my aim behind this video, whereas other channels who have been created for that aim and purpose of attempting to expose people or allegedly expose people will, at the end of the day, make money off of targeting big fishes like streamers. I'm not here to say that streamers don't cheat. There has definitely been evidence that some streamers, some content creators, some professional players have cheated in the past. But is it as widespread as people believe it to be? Or is it something that your favorite streamer or every streamer must be doing? The answer to that is probably not. There are even more things to consider. For example, most cheating softwares tend to include Bitcoin miners, Ethereum miners, malware, could steal your personal information, and if you're a high-level streamer, you really don't want that to happen to you. And on top of that, it is your entire career. If you're a full-time streamer and you get caught cheating, that's it ended. That's the full enchilada. It's all finished there and then. You lose all credibility as a player, as a creator, so on and so forth. I hope this video has explained some of the mechanics within Warzone and illustrated how some of these clips being used as alleged evidence of cheating aren't really evidence at all. Now, you can ask for monitor cams, controller cams, foot cams, cams for cams. At the end of the day, it's not going to make a difference. The only way you can legitimately prove if somebody is cheating is if they get banned by Ricochet Anti-Cheat. And even then, Ricochet Anti-Cheat can make mistakes. So the system needs to get better with time. But these videos where supposed evidence is utilized without explaining the mechanics in game, and often misconstruing or mispresenting the mechanics within the game as evidence that the player is cheating, isn't the one, and often exists so the person who's creating them can go and get a nice dinner on the weekend. If you learned something from this video or explained something to you, leave a like, subscribe, I'm on the road to 100k, and I'll catch you again in the next one.